All right, so we're back and ready to dive deep into something we all think about a lot, our finances.
Yeah.
You know, money can be a bit of a tricky subject for a lot of people, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But we all want to feel like we've got a good handle on it,
Right.
to really feel in control of our money.
Yes.
Like we're making smart choices and working towards those goals that we set for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And one surprisingly effective way to do this is through journaling.
Journaling.
I know it might sound a little old school in our digital world,
Right.
but trust me, there's something about physically writing things down that can make a huge difference in how we manage our money.
I think people are kind of rediscovering that in a way.
You think so?
Yeah, like with bullet journaling and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's just something about that tactile experience
Right.
that helps it stick in your mind more than just typing it into an app.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that stick, we've been looking at some really interesting stuff about this Lestallion journal.
Oh, yeah, the budgeting and finance one.
So what?
I've heard good things.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with Lestallion, they make these amazing journals
They do.
with a real focus on quality and design.
Yeah, their stuff is beautiful.
And their budgeting journal, it's not just a pretty notebook.
No.
It's packed with features that can actually change how you approach your whole financial life.
Really gets you thinking differently about money.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
Why would anyone even bother with a budgeting journal in the first place?
Yeah, good question.
You know, with all the apps and spreadsheets out there.
I mean, it seems almost counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, in a way.
Going back to pen and paper,
Right.
when everything's digital these days.
But think about it. How many times have you had like a financial goal or intention
Oh, all the time.
that just kind of stays stuck in your head?
Or like on a random note on your phone.
Exactly. Or maybe you start a spreadsheet and never finish it.
Oh, yeah, the unfinished spreadsheet graveyard.
Right, it's like a digital purgatory for good intentions.
Exactly.
But a dedicated journal, it gives you this tangible space to really get those ideas out of your head
yeah, you're making it real.
and onto paper.
Right, like you're taking those abstract goals
Like saving for a down payment or paying off debt.
and turning them into concrete steps.
Yeah, you're not just thinking about it anymore.
Instead of doing something.
You're writing it down.
You're committing to it.
And that act of writing it down, there's something powerful about it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like it helps your brain actually process and remember the information better.
Yeah, there's research on that.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like the physical act of writing engages different parts of your brain.
Interesting.
It helps with memory and focus.
Okay, so it's not just me then.
No, not at all.
Because I swear I remember things way better when I write them down.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Like mental notes, they just disappear.
They evaporate.
But if I write it down, it's like it's solidified.
It's there. It's real.
Yeah. And with finances, I think the biggest struggle for most people isn't even understanding how to budget.
Right.
It's actually doing it.
The consistency.
Exactly. Staying on top of tracking expenses and, you know, actually managing your debt.
Yeah, it's the day-to-day grind.
Right. And a journal, it gives you that structure you need to stay consistent.
The framework.
Yeah, it's like a built-in accountability partner.
That's a good way to put it.
Right, because you're literally facing your finances every time you open that journal.
You can't hide from it.
This reminds me of my friend Sarah, actually.
Oh, yeah.
She was trying to save for this big trip,
Mm.
and she had the best intentions. But every month she'd be like, where did all my money go?
The classic.
Right. And then she started using a notebook to track every single expense.
Every little thing.
Yeah, even like a coffee or a snack.
Wow.
And it was crazy how those small purchases added up.
It's always the small stuff.
Right. And when she saw it written down in black and white, she was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
It clicked.
Yeah. And that's what a dedicated budgeting journal does.
Yeah.
It takes that basic idea
Of tracking everything.
and turns it into this whole system.
Right. With features that are designed to help you succeed.
Okay, so let's talk about the Lestallion journal specifically,
All right, let's dive in.
because it's more than just blank pages, right?
Oh, way more.
They really put thought into the design.
Yeah, they did their research.
So first off, the paper.
The paper, what about it?
It's this thick 120 GSM wood-free paper.
Oh, wow. That's fancy.
I know, right? And you might be thinking, who cares about the paper?
Right.
But trust me,
Okay.
if you like to use different colored pens to categorize your spending,
Oh,
or if you just want your journal to look really nice and clean,
yeah.
this paper is amazing.
No bleed through.
No bleed through at all. It's like a dream to write on.
That's a big deal.
And it makes those colorful charts and graphs so much more satisfying to create.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the colored pens. It
Mhm.
reminds me of my grandfather. He was a small business owner, and he always kept these meticulous records in his notebooks, like different colored inks for income and expenses.
Mhm.
And those pages were like his lifeline to understanding his business.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and the quality of the paper meant those records stayed clear and legible for years.
So you're saying this Lestallion journal could be like a historical record of your financial life.
Exactly. You're creating an archive.
I love that idea.
Right.
And speaking of keeping track of things over time, this Lestallion journal, it has 211 numbered pages.
211, that's a lot.
Right, so clearly they're not messing around.
Yeah, they're serious about budgeting.
They want you to use this thing for a long time.
To really track your progress.
Over months, even years.
It's like a long-term commitment to your finances.
Exactly.
Which is what it should be.
Right, it's not a quick fix, it's a journey.
A marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so we've got the numbered pages, which is already a great feature.
Yeah, for keeping things organized.
But then they go a step further and add a table of contents.
Oh, wow, a table of contents in a journal.
I know, right? It's genius.
Yeah, that's actually really useful.
Because think about it. If you want to go back and review your spending from last year,
right,
or see how much you spent on groceries during the holidays, without a table of contents, you'd be flipping through pages forever.
Yeah, good luck finding anything.
But with the table of contents, you can instantly find the exact information you need.
It's like an index for your financial life.
Seriously, it's
What?
so smart.
They thought of everything.
Okay, and then the pages themselves?
The pages, what about them?
They're dash lined.
Dash lined, okay.
With a really nice 7.5 millimeter spacing. So you've got the structure of lines for neat writing,
Right.
but you also have enough freedom to create your own trackers and charts.
Oh, that's cool.
You can even sketch out ideas or write
Right.
down motivational quotes.
It's versatile.
It's like a blank canvas for your financial dreams.
I like that.
And then on top of all that,
there's more.
there's more. They've got these little practical features that just make life easier,
Okay, like what?
like back pockets for receipts and reminders,
Oh, that's handy.
right? No more crumpled up pieces of paper floating around in your bag.
Yeah, I'm always losing receipts.
Me too, it's a nightmare.
This solves that problem.
And then the cover.
The cover? What about it?
It's this soft faux leather.
Oh, nice.
It feels really professional.
Yeah, it's like you're taking your finances seriously.
Right, and it's also super durable, so it can handle being tossed around in your bag.
Important for a journal that you're carrying everywhere?
And then the size.
Yeah. Is it bulky?
Not at all. It's actually really compact. So it's easy to take with you wherever you go.
For those on-the-go budgeting moments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, we don't always make financial decisions sitting at our desks.
Not always.
Sometimes it's at the grocery store, out with friends.
Right, in the heat of the moment.
And having your journal with you means you can track those expenses right away.
Before you forget.
Exactly. Before they become those mystery purchases at the end of the month.
The dreaded mystery purchases.
So it's like all these little details, they add up to make budgeting less of a chore.
Right, less intimidating.
And more of a seamless part of your life.
Like it's just something you do.
Exactly. It becomes a habit.
A good habit.
And that's the key, right?
Consistency.
Consistency. Because we all know those common budgeting pitfalls.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Like overspending.
Yeah.
Because you just lose track of where your money's going.
Or, yeah, been there.
Or those dreaded late fees because you forgot about a bill.
Or that feeling of complete financial chaos.
Oh, yeah, like you're drowning in numbers.
And you're just reacting to everything instead of being in control.
Exactly. And this is where a structured journal can really save the day.
How so?
Well, first off, by having dedicated pages for monthly expense trackers, you're forced to actually confront your spending habits.
You can't ignore it.
Right, because you're writing down every purchase.
And seeing it all laid out.
And that could be a real eye-opener.
Oh, yeah. Makes it real.
And then having a bill calendar.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It gives you this visual overview of all your financial obligations.
So you don't miss any deadlines.
Exactly. No more late fees.
Nice.
And then for debt repayment, you can create a whole section in your journal to outline your strategies.
Oh, smart.
You can break down what can feel like this huge, overwhelming burden.
Yeah, debt can be really scary.
Into manageable steps.
Right, like you're taking control.
And again, that act of writing it down.
It makes a difference.
It does. It's like you're making a commitment.
The promise to yourself.
To tackle that debt and get on top of your finances.
And it's not just about the practical side either.
What do you mean?
I think writing things down can also impact our mindset.
How so?
Well, it's one thing to see a number on a screen.
Like your credit card balance.
Yeah.
It's another to actually write it down.
Yeah, it feels different.
It does. It's like it becomes more real.
More tangible.
And that can create a stronger sense of motivation to change things.
To take action.
So it's about creating that clarity and control.
Yeah. taking ownership of your finances.
And a journal like the Lestallion, with its durability and well-thought-out layout,
It really supports that.
it becomes this reliable tool that you can use to build good financial habits
And stick with them.
over the long term.
Because that's what it's all about, right?
Right. It's not about a quick fix.
It's about creating a sustainable system.
That works for you and helps you reach your goals.
And a journal can be a big part of that.
So for our listeners out there who are thinking, okay, this sounds great,
Right.
but how do I actually use a budgeting journal effectively?
Yeah, let's get practical.
Let's break it down into steps.
Okay.
And keep in mind those helpful features we've been talking about.
With the Lestallion Journal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because those features, they're not just random.
They're there for a reason.
They're designed to make this whole process easier and more effective.
So step 1, what is it?
Step 1 is to set clear financial goals. And this is where you want to be as specific as possible.
Right, not just like, I want to save more money.
Yeah, that's too vague.
Yeah, you need a target.
Exactly. So instead of just save more money,
You'd say something like,
I want to save $5,000 for a down payment on a house being next December.
okay, there you go.
That's a clear goal.
It's measurable, it's time-bound.
And it gives you something concrete to work towards.
And to track your progress against,
And when you write it down in your journal,
it becomes even more real.
it does. It's like you're putting it out into the universe.
Manifesting your financial dreams.
Okay, step 2.
What's next?
Track your income and expenses.
The bread and butter of budgeting.
Right, and this is where those dedicated pages in the Lestallion Journal come in handy.
You've got space for everything.
You can create separate sections for each month. And you use columns or different colored pens.
To categorize your spending?
Yeah, like needs versus wants.
Yeah.
Fixed expenses
Yeah.
versus variable expenses.
And that thick paper.
Oh yeah, that glorious paper.
It can handle all the highlighting and color coding you can throw at it. It's a budgeting dream come true.
Okay, and what does all this tracking actually do for you?
It gives you this incredible awareness of where your money's actually going.
Yeah, because a lot of times we're clueless.
We just kind of spend mindlessly.
Until we look at our bank statement and we're like, oh,
Exactly, and then it's too late.
But when you're tracking everything in real time,
It's like you're shining a light on your spending habits.
you're becoming more mindful.
And you can start to identify those areas where you might be overspending.
The leaks in the budget.
Exactly. And make adjustments before it's too late.
Okay, so step 3.
What's next?
Let's talk about monthly trackers.
Oh, yeah, these are awesome.
I love a good monthly tracker.
The Lestallion Journal, it has this calendar-style layout that's perfect for noting down when your bills are due.
So you can see everything at a glance.
Exactly, no more missed payment.
And no more late fees. And you can also use this space to summarize your total income and expenses at the end of each month.
Okay, so you get a big picture view.
Yeah, like a financial snapshot.
Of how you did that month.
Okay, and this is where it gets fun.
Fun.
Step 4.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Incorporate savings challenges and visual trackers.
Oh, I love this.
Me too. It's like the creative part of budgeting.
Yeah, because who says budgeting has to be boring?
Exactly. So you can create a bar graph to track your savings progress.
And color it in as you go.
Yeah, or come up with a visual representation of a specific goal.
Like what?
I knew someone who was saving for a down payment on a house, and she drew a picture of her dream house.
Oh, that's cute.
And then for every $500 she saved.
She'd color in a section of the roof.
Exactly. It was so motivating for her.
Yeah, I can see that.
And again, with that Lestallion paper,
Yeah.
it makes these creative touches so much more enjoyable.
It's like you're turning your journal into a work of art.
Exactly, a financial masterpiece.
I love
All right, and last but not least, step 5.
the final step.
Review your progress regularly.
Okay, this is important.
This is crucial because it's not just about writing things down.
It's about learning from it.
Exactly. So at the end of each week, or at least at the end of each month,
Sit down with your journal.
and really look back at your spending,
Your
savings,
savings?
your progress towards your goals.
Did you stick to your budget?
Were there any surprises?
What adjustments do you need to make?
And this is where those numbered pages and the table of contents,
Becomes super helpful.
they allow you to easily revisit previous periods and spot trends in your behavior.
Like maybe you always overspend on eating out in December.
Or maybe you consistently underestimate your grocery budget.
Right, and once you see those patterns,
You can start to make more informed decisions.
and break those bad habits.
So it's like a constant cycle of tracking
Analyzing.
to optimize your finances.
And don't be afraid to personalize your journal.
Oh, yeah. Make it your own. The source material mentions using stickers or washi tape.
To highlight important things.
Or add motivational quotes and affirmations.
To keep you inspired.
And with that amazing paper from the Lestallion Journal,
Yeah.
even something as simple as writing down a few things you're grateful for each day.
That can become a really nice ritual.
It's like you're infusing your journal with positive energy.
And that can make a big difference in how you approach your finances.
So it's not just about numbers.
It's about mindset, too.
It's about creating this whole positive financial ecosystem.
In your journal.
And the benefits of this kind of intentional budgeting.
They go way beyond just managing your money.
They do. You start to develop this deeper financial literacy.
It's like you're leveling up your financial skills.
Yeah, you're not just reacting to things anymore.
You're becoming more proactive.
You're making conscious choices about your spending.
You're understanding your priorities.
And you're building self-discipline.
Which is a valuable skill in all areas of life.
Right, not just with money.
And it's amazing how just the act of tracking your spending
can naturally lead to eliminating those wasteful habits.
You're right. You start to see where the money's going, and you're like, oh, I don't actually need that.
Exactly. And writing down your goals.
It creates this sense of accountability
that you just don't get from thinking about them.
It's like you're making a promise to yourself.
And the regular practice of journaling.
It encourages mindfulness.
Yeah, you're being more present with your financial decisions.
Not just mindlessly swiping your credit card.
And a journal like the Lestallion.
With its durable cover and portable size.
It's the perfect companion for this journey.
It's like your financial sidekick.
I love that.
Always there to keep you on track.
So imagine this. You've been using your budgeting journal consistently.
For a few months.
And you sit down to review your progress.
You open up your journal.
And you see tangible evidence of everything you've accomplished.
It's all right there in black and white.
You've reached your savings goal.
You've paid down your debt.
You feel this incredible sense of financial security.
Yeah, and independence.
And that feeling, it's priceless.
It is. It's empowering.
And it all started with a simple journal.
Who knew a notebook could be so powerful?
Right. And the rewards of this kind of consistent budgeting.
They're huge.
They are... You boost your financial confidence.
You reduce your stress.
You open up possibilities for the future.
Whether that's investing.
In buying a home.
Or just having more freedom and flexibility in your life.
And with the Lestallion Journal.
You've got all the space you need.
To track your progress and plan for the long term.
Those 211 pages.
They're not just for show.
They're there to support you every step of the way.
So, to wrap things up.
The big takeaway.
A dedicated journal.
Especially one designed with intention, like the Lestallion.
It can be a game changer for your finances.
It's about creating this structured, tangible record of your financial life.
That helps you become more aware.
More accountable.
And ultimately more in control.
You're not just managing your money.
You're mastering it.
You're taking charge of your financial future.
And that's a powerful feeling.
It is.
So here's a thought for you to ponder.
I'm listening.
How might intentionally documenting your financial journey in a tangible way.
Pen to paper.
Reshape your relationship with money.
And those future goals.
What small step could you take today?
To begin that process.
That's your homework.
Food for thought.
Thanks for diving deep with us.